Good evening. Happy Friday, everybody. It's Patrick. 8 questions with have Cheetah Wheel View, and we are glad that to be here. It is raging cold outside. We are getting a big thunderstorm, thunder snowstorm coming in, and yeah, it looks like we're going to get 26 to 8 inches, like they said that we were. This is actually a pretty good record for them because our forecasters, because most of the time they just get generally like one big storm right, the rest of them are always wrong. But this year, they've been calling it right. Um, and it's snowing hard outside. Let me tell you, it is. Hey, what's going on, Drew? I'm glad you are here. We will be talking to actress model Dilynn Fawn Harvey in a few minutes. This will be Dylynn's second visit with us, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad she's coming over to hang out with us because she's amazing. She's actually one of the nicest actresses, nicest people that you'll ever want to meet or talk to. Um, so generous with her openness, and I really appreciate her very much, and I appreciate her hard work. And so I'm really happy, especially month being Women in Horror Month, and I think it fits. It's the right thing. She's a perfect definition of women in horror. She's a muse. She's a scream queen. She's a badass. She's not afraid to get her dirty. She's not afraid to get it bloody. Um, and so I'm really happy that she's back. And we're gonna catch up. We're gonna catch up because she has added a big repertoire to her skill set. She's been doing some things that I'm really anxious to talk to her about. And so we're really happy that she'll be here in about 10 or 12 minutes or so. All right. Had a really good time last night, or the night before last, interviewing DeRay, also known as Rainbow Fright. She was on an awesome interview, super cool guest. Uh, really like her a lot, and I had a really nice time talking to her as well. Um, hey, there's Gizmos in the house. You must have heard me mention snow, my friend, because it is snowing cats and dogs outside. Um, yeah, we are doing Women in the Horror Month this month, and so we got a whole slew of very talented ladies that we're bringing in through March. I also know that our friend Steven and over at the House of Horrors, he's also doing a Women in the Horror Month on his show Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Um, so I know they're going to be talking to they're talking to they have some very talented ladies over there as well. Life is not too bad. Life is not too bad. We are dual streaming as well. So if you're on Facebook and you're watching this, just give StreamYard permission to say your name, and we will see you when you pop up here as well. So yes, you are. I'm glad you are here with us tonight as well. Um, well, let me tell you a little about the calendar. I got to do that earlier on the Friendly Men show. They did a nice pop up this afternoon for a couple hours, and they were gracious enough to let me come on. And I read a little bit of the calendar, and so I got to read a little bit more. I got to. I got to let you know who we got coming up because we are busy. Hey Anthony, how are you? Anthony is up to 718 subs. That is amazing, amazing work, sir. So glad for that. And there's Echo is here. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. A lot of fun this afternoon. Like I said, with the friendly men, really blazing onto the scene hard, and they're very talented. It's more like a collective. There's like 5 or 6 of them are together, and they've been going around and they have over 30 interviews done on their channel. They've been coming on here and hanging out with us as of late. I've gotten some interviews from them. They have been popping up on the midnight hour. It's just a really good group of guys. I'm glad to have them glad to have them in the community. Hi, Brene. How are you? Glad you were here for our interview with Dilynn Fawn Harvey. I do want to say congratulations to the Basic Autumn Wing Queen. Uh, uh, um, she won the Horror Tuber of the Month. Pulled off a last minute comeback and was named the Horror Tuber of the Month for March. So that'll be cool as hell. And I can't wait to see who she's gonna pick for her for, uh, which is always the fun thing to do, right? Gonna see who's gonna get picked. Hey V, how are you? Wow, everybody's coming in over here tonight. I know I'm not here all that much on a Friday, but once in a great blue moon, I will tell you that we will be working very hard. We will be working very hard to make sure we have shows all Friday. We have 3 shows so far this Friday on this month, but I still got 2 openings. So rest assured, we will be here every Friday night through March. All right. Let's see. What else do I want to say? Oh, I guess we're going to give a shout out to our good friend Max Wassa, who is not feeling very good today. She's in the hospital, so we're sending her thoughts and healing and light. Also for producer Amy Crabtree, she is also not feeling too good, and we want to send her light and healing as well. Our friend Serena Saleri, Serena, you're in our thoughts and our hearts, and I'm looking forward to our talk. I know that we could not do that yesterday, but I know we will reschedule when the timing's right, and we will be having fun. You and I having fun. So that will be coming up soon. Um, so yeah, let me tell you what's coming up on the channel while I got a minute before our guest gets here. So next week we have 5 shows. On the 6th of March, that's a Monday the 6th of March, we have actress Emily Whitcomb will be here with us at 8 p.m. Hey, Professor, how are you? Feel free to share us out. Those who want to share us out, that'll be amazing. Thank you so much for that. I'm so glad you guys are all here. On the 7th of March, Tuesday, we have Becky Rue will be here. Actress Becky Rue will be here with us at 8 p.m. On the 8th, Wednesday, we have actress Audrey Neal will be with us. She is a fast rising screen queen. She is actually filming the remake of Killbots. Jim Warnowski is directing that, and Audrey Neal is in that. Oh, did I? Oh, actually, I think she's in. Yeah. Oh God, did I get that confused? I might have that confused, kids. Yeah, I gotta. I might have to double check that. Yeah, let me double check that. I think she is, and I think our friend August Kiss is in Slimeball Bolorama. Yeah, I think I've got that confused. I have to make some notes on that. I'm gonna blame it all on Steven. That's right. I'm blaming it all on the host of the House of Horrors. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and stop reading that until I fix that, and then I'll be fine, because I don't want to be saying each other's movies are crossed. That would not be a good look. How are you, Stephen? Yeah, I know. Long time no see. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, Women in Horror Month continues. Daniel Donahue will be on the House of Horrors tomorrow. And then on next Saturday, they will have the lovely Jessica Cameron will be on there. So I don't know after that. I do know that he's got rocking and rolling. I don't know. I went to my mailbox yesterday because I saw that Hobbs Horror got his package from the 100th episode after he won the trivia. But I went out there saying, "Wow, Hobbs got his loot. Holy crow! I mean, I got mine." So I went out to the mailbox, and lo and behold, all I got was nothing. I got nothing. The mail lady said that my package got sent to Hobbs. Um, Dilynn will be here at 8 o'clock. JJ at 8 o'clock. She'll be here right on the nose. I do believe. Yep, she'll be here. Let's make sure. Yep. So some of you might not have seen our first interview with Dilynn. We definitely had and she is definitely one of the nicest people to interview. She's been interviewed by a couple of different channels. I know that as well as we have here, we had nothing but a great time with Dylan. Like I said, she's one of the most generous, one of the nicest people you'll ever want to meet. Um, if every single show went as smooth as that, I mean, you could put yeah, it's just amazing. Um, she's fearless, is what I really like about her. I mean, she can do everything. She can do comedy, she could do horror, she could do she's a badass. Yeah, she can do anything. But she's been doing something lately, like I said before, that I'm really excited to talk to her about because this is new for her, I think, as far as I know. I could be wrong about that, but we'll find out. She's been expanding her repertoire. She's been doing a lot of exciting things. So, um, and let me make sure I didn't. I feel like I just shot myself in the foot here. I had a senior moment, so to speak, so to say. Uh, let's see. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so Audrey's in the sorority babes in the slime bowl. Okay, so that's where she's in. Okay, so I had it wrong. I had it wrong. So Audrey's doing the sorority babes in the slime bowl orama too, and then our Friday guest August Kiss. She is doing the Killbot remake with Jim Warnowski. Who's directing Bolorama though? Maybe that's where I got it wrong at. Oh wow, Brink Stevens. Oh, sweet. You know that's going to be sassy. I would have liked to have gotten to have Brink Steven come onto the show. I did ask her, but got shot out of the saddle. You know how that goes. Um, he, Asking guests and getting shot out of the saddle is par for the course. That happens more often than not. Um, the only thing you can do is you can just ask and then see what happens. But I do know that it will be being released in April. I believe it's going to be, and I think they're doing a big event in LA where they're going to be appearing for a signing. And but we will get that from Audrey. Okay, so let me do this so I don't look like a total nincompoop next week. All right. Oh, that's fixed that. March is let me see if I can find it. I can find her let me find her Instagram page. I could do that. Um okay. Yeah, let's do that. All right, I'm gonna do that and I'll bring it back to here. Yeah, well, I didn't make very good notes. So here is Dylan's Instagram page, and she just walked through the door. So let's go get her. Wow, thank you guys so much. 11 of us here. This is awesome. Thank you guys so much. Here we go. Hello. Glad to see you.
Glad to see you too.
So excited that you came back, especially on short notice. There was some live wires, but we managed to fix it at last minute. I actually felt like a MacGyver for a change instead of a MacGruber. And so I'm so glad that you're here.
Thanks.
Uh, are you getting pounded with weather like we are here in Michigan?
No, not really bad. We had some rain this morning, maybe a little bit of flurries, but not much.
Man, we are reaping the whirlwind over here. We have they're calling for 6 to 8 inches of snow, and it is coming down heavy right now. I dare say if it keeps going up like this, it could be a little bit heavier, a little bit more than 8 inches.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's March. It's supposed to be springtime.
Yeah.
Um, you have been busy this past year since we last talked.
Uh, Busy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I know film wise, it's a little quiet, but I suspect that's just gearing up. I'm sure you're going to be filming during the summer, right?
That's the plan. I'm hoping to. I know I've got something coming up in August. I'm getting ready to audition for something else that's coming up soon, but don't have exact dates yet, except for the one in the fall.
I was just, when I was looking at, I was, because I've been, you and I still stay in, we stay in touch.
Mhm.
And one of the coolest things I noticed is that you really have expanded your acting. You are, you're doing plays now.
Yeah, I figured since I had some downtime and wasn't doing filming for a little while, I figured I'd dabble into some theater work. That never hurts to have knowledge in different aspects of acting and stuff.
As far as the dabbling goes, though, but you've been busy.
Yeah,
Um,
I did three
how,
plays last year.
how many?
Three.
3.
Mhm.
That's so cool. I was like, wow, look at, and you're so excited. You
Yeah.
could definitely sense that. You could definitely sense that when you're posting your pictures and whatnot. And I'm just thinking to myself, look at her go. You're always looking to improve yourself.
Oh yeah.
That's one. Yeah, that's one of the really cool things I really enjoy about you is that you don't rest on your laurels. You're always looking to get better.
Hmm.
Um, and I think any serious actor, that's the name of the game, right? To never just sit and say like, okay, so I made 15 movies. I'm that's cool. I can just sit here and relax.
Right.
It's always about what can I do to make my craft and myself a better. So
Yeah. Well, the
now
ultimate goal is to do that for a living. So in order to do that, you got to keep you know learning new stuff and keep at it.
Now, last time I think we talked, I think that High Fear, I think the High Fear, and I think the last call,
Holler.
that last caller. I think they had been done, but they had not been released yet.
Right.
So we do have some stuff to talk about as far as filmed wise go.
Yeah.
It looks like there's been so you have stayed busy. I guess the big question is are you Now you got those two movies down. Will we be real quick before we get into it? But what will you be doing this summer? Can you mention it to us or
Not sure yet. Like I said, I don't have anything locked in for the summer. Those are right now. I'm getting ready to do some auditions for some stuff, but I know fall. I know for sure I'm doing something, and that's actually going to be a shark movie.
Oh, sweet, sweet.
It's going to be
Everybody
called.
in the chat is saying hello. Stephen is here. He says hello, welcome. You remember Stephen from House of Horrors?
Hello.
He's here, and thank you guys all for coming in. Um, so a lot of you may not have watched our first interview, so we're going to do a little brief recap, even though we do have it listed. So, Dilynn, you live in Topeka, right?
Right.
Topeka, Kansas. That doesn't seem to be, at first glance, you won't really think of that as being a hotbed of movie making. But as I've discovered during this past year, hotbeds is where you make it. I mean, Ohio seems to be white hot right now.
Yeah.
Um, I know that a lot of Iowa filmmakers are starting to be noticed again right now. Um, how is the how has the movie scene um, been since we last talked in the last years? Have you noticed any increase in business?
Oh yeah.
Um, oh, good.
It's been an influx. It's been expanding quite nicely. It's getting a lot of attention here lately. A lot of people out from Indiana and Virginia and, like you said, Iowa, Ohio, all kinds of places. Everybody's just blooming with indie films here the last couple of years. It's pretty cool to watch.
Now, what's been going on with Topeka? Is that everything? I mean, has there been more companies coming in since we last talked? And how is Todd doing? Is he working on anything at the moment that you know?
There hasn't been that I'm aware of in Kansas, but I usually will film outside of Topeka, like in Missouri or Kansas City, with Todd, and he's doing really good. He's been really concentrating on getting this our latest project that we worked on a year ago. He's still got to get through, red tape and hoops and all that stuff. He's almost done with it though. I'm getting ready to premiere it on Amazon. That's about the only. I still can't say much about it yet until they officially release media for it. But
Right, right.
but
But
he's still
but
working on that.
now are you in that one as well?
Hmm.
Nice, nice.
I actually play one of the main villains in it.
No, you're playing villain this time,
Mhm.
huh?
Yeah,
You like playing the villain though.
yeah, they're fun.
Is playing? Are you more happier playing a villainess than you are a final girl?
Um, they're actually about equal, honestly. I like both.
I mean, it seems like there's there's bonuses for each side. I mean, there's pluses for each side. You
Yeah,
know, you get the final girl, you get to escape, but the villain, but playing the bad girl, you get to do all the mayhem.
the mayhem, and you can cheese it up, a little more than the other characters might, depending on how the characters wrote, of course. But yeah, it's definitely
Do you
fun.
think when people first meet you, when they first meet you for the first time, and they see how nice you are, and you're such a cool person, and do you think you surprise them with your intensity once the camera rolls and you're playing a bad girl? Do you think that they're like taken aback by that, like holy crow, like she can bring it? Or do you think that do you think that happens more often than not for you?
I hope so, but I really don't know because no one's really, commented on that aspect of it. But then again, I don't know, but I can only hope.
Now, like I said, you've been doing some plays.
Mm.
In fact, now I want to know how that came about, and do the plays in order that you got them. Well, first of all, how did you decide to do the plays? I mean, was this something that you just sat down and thought about, or was it offered to you? I mean, how did you decide to take that step?
Well, actually, someone had invited me to a group page where they were announcing auditions for the ACT Theater here in Kansas. And so I decided, well, I'm not doing anything at the moment. So I decided to go ahead and give it a try since it was something completely out of the genre I've been doing. Um, and it was actually a comedy. So I've actually been doing comedy shows this last year instead of horror stuff. So I decided, well, you know what? Why not? I need to learn something new anyway, and I need to stay busy. And in order to do that, that was one way to do it. So I went ahead and decided to go ahead and try and auditioned, and I actually got one of the co-leads the first time. So I was like, oh, cool, I can do that. That was for Fools, for Neil Simon's Fools.
Wow, Neil
Mhm.
Simon. Now, have you ever do you know Neil Simon's work?
I don't. I actually don't. I don't watch a lot of plays, and which is kind of funny. Um, and I've never really kept up with, who writes what. But unless it's Mel Brooks, then of course I might know a little more about that. But um, I actually had listened to Mel Brooks's audio book that my husband had got me for Christmas one year, not that long ago, actually, about when it came out. And I actually heard him mention the name Neil Simon. He had worked with Neil Simon. So I was like, okay, so that's what made me more intrigued about checking out the play and to see what it was all about. And I'm glad I did because it was really a fun show to do.
Yeah, Neil Simon's a legend.
Hmm.
Uh, his work has produced Oscar winners. He's he did the Odd Couple.
Hmm.
That was Neil Simon. He did that, and so the play and the movie, and then he ended up becoming a TV show. He doesn't get really mentioned that much
Yeah.
as of late, but he's still a giant. But that's still Neil Simon. I mean, were you happy to see the script, or what was it? What was reading the script like from a Neil Simon play versus say a horror movie? Was it a lot more intense?
Oh, I don't know about intense, but it's very entertaining. And a couple of stuff made me giggle and laugh. I'm like, well, I love making people laugh if I can. So I was like, this is really cool. So I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. Not sure
Uh,
how to explain on that one. Just that it was exciting to read.
what role did you play?
Let's see if I can remember. I played the mom. Oh man, drawing a blank on the names. I've got so many names running through my head.
Oh, I
Character names.
bet. Well, how about better yet? How about this? How did you prepare for the role versus a movie role?
I actually looked up a because I know there's different ways of acting versus camera versus stage. So I was looking up different ways of
Yeah,
coming
because
across that.
isn't it camera you're face to face, and then the theater you're sort of overlooking them, overlooking the audience's
I
head.
think what it was is I was looking for the okay to ham it up more than I would on camera. I think that's what it was. Uh, and I just watched different plays could see, and then there was a video I watched. I wish I could remember what it was called. Man, once I'm done with something, it goes right out my brain.
Yeah, well, that's because you got other things coming in. That's why. No one can expect you to hold all the work in your head.
As long as I can remember my lines for that project, we're good.
Right, right, right.
uh, Blocking was something that was new learning. And thing is, though, I have actually done some theater shows like the Phantom Speech for the Kansas City Renaissance Fair. I did
Mhm.
a couple of those shows, so theater's not quite new to me. Um, but
But
I
that
definitely,
was on the same level as doing Neil Simon play, though.
yes, definitely an inside stage at that instead of a dinner and show. We didn't have to worry about dinner and food breaks and all that stuff. Um, but like I said, even in the Phantom show, we still had blood involved because it was I wouldn't a horror type dinner show because it's Halloween. But the blocking, there's a lot more blocking to learn, and I had to learn, make sure I stayed facing the audience all the time, which wasn't one of the things we quite concentrated on in the Kansas City Renaissance Fair versus the theater show at ACT. And she always had to keep reminding me, keep your feet forward towards the audience, because even though you're going to be turning to look at somebody to talk to them, you still want to face the audience. And that took me a while to get used to. Because I'm used to moving whichever way I need to for the camera. And
Right.
then when he does a reverse shot, I have to do the exact same thing. So you still have blocking, but different types of blocking because you're moving from stage to stage. And the blocking for camera, you're moving around, but then you have to move exactly the same way you did when they reverse everything. And the other difference is you actually can do it again if you mess up on camera. You can't do it again if you mess up live.
No, no. How now? Did you find yourself doing that and have to improvise?
A few times, mostly online. It's not necessarily blocking, but there's been a few times when I would flubber my line, but we were always told if you do, don't panic, just go with the flow. As long as you can keep the same conversation going and you don't go off track and change everything, which has
Right.
happened with there's several, especially this last show. For some reason, we had somebody that just could not get the blocking for some reason, and she would skip over an entire scene, but
Ooh.
we would manage to find a way back to it. So it can get frustrating if you don't really practice everything that you need to know, because it's a whole
Was
scene
it
going
a
down.
can you tell when someone is? Can you tell when someone's just like, like nervous or stage fright versus someone who's not prepared, who has a steady material? Can you tell the difference between?
Yeah, it shows. I mean, because you stammer when you're nervous, but as long as you don't stammer too much like I'm doing now, think as long as you're not thinking about it too hard and somebody can pick up a beat and you can just go from there and make it look like it flows, you're good.
Okay.
The audience will still be entertained.
Uh, I was gonna go look at the Neil Simon page real quick to look over it, and someone hijacked the page and just graffitied it on IMDb. I have no idea why they would do that, but that's weird. Um,
Mm.
so the first your opening night, now how was rehearsal different because you got to rehearse this?
Yes.
A lot of the movies, it's like you don't get a whole lot of rehearsing time. But this one you got a lot. So was that what did you do with all that rehearsal time? Was it were you like I could get used to this, or did you?
Actually, I found it very time consuming because we would have rehearsals 4 nights a week. Plus, I work at my job 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday. And with my husband having overtime in the mornings, we have to get there 2 hours early. So I'm there for 10 hours. And what I would do when I'm rehearsing my lines is I would sit at there and record everybody else's lines and then leave a space for mine. So when I played it back, I would hear their lines and then I would say my lines when it was ready. That's how I learned to get ready for this. And
Wow.
that way I would mainly just have to concentrate on blocking when we got there.
Well, that would be that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Uh, did anybody recognize you from your past work?
No,
Didn't I see you in Clownado?
no, but I did have a couple of friends. Well, the people I made friends with, because that was the other nice thing is getting to meet local people, making friends, and they actually checked out Bone Hill Road the first time. I was like, oh, or was it? No, I think yeah.
And what was their reaction to Bowen Hill Road?
They liked it. They liked it a lot. They also liked Clownado. They liked that one too. But what they weren't expecting was the bar scene on Clownado there. So when
Oh
they came and
yes,
told me
yes.
they watched it, I was like, and they said, however, the bar scene was like, bam, right in your face.
Did you? You didn't warn them, did you? You didn't tell them that. Yeah, I might get naked in a couple of my movies, just to let you know. It was just.
So I
I
always
think.
tell people that there's nudity involved, but
Uh-huh.
I never tell them it's me.
Yeah, right, right. So I'm sure they're sitting over there. Yeah, okay, yeah. What? Uh, and then coming up to you and going like, because what, honestly, that would be, here we are, we've talked for a while. I saw Clownado and I saw that bar scene and I was like, okay, like how would you talk about that, to anybody who you're going to interview? Like, like I saw your nude scene and it is a little bit nerve wracking. I think people have more trouble with that than they do the fact that here you are in a bathtub with blood and guts and crazy ass werewolves. I mean, people are more into the nudity aspect of it.
Well, yeah, because yeah, I guess so. I mean, the funny thing is, though, is I'm actually topless in the bathtub too, just like I
Yeah.
was in the Clownado. So it's funny.
Well, well, it's cool that they like both your movies, though. That's always a good thing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Uh, so you did the Neil Simon play. How long was your run for? How long did the
We
play?
did 2 weekends.
2 weekends?
Mhm. I
Ah,
th-
okay.
I think we had like 6 or 8 weeks of rehearsals, about maybe less than 2 months of rehearsal time. It didn't seem like a whole lot to me, but we managed to make it work.
how many did you run? Like you had, so you have 14 shows in, right? Did you go 7 days a week?
We just had Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, 2 weekends of
Okay,
those. So it's just
okay,
6 days.
okay.
Mhm.
Well, that's not bad. So
Mm-mm.
after that, you got your feet wet as far as doing a theater.
Mhm.
Um, so where did you go next?
Uh, that's all I was doing all of last year. I stayed with the same company. I did two more with them. The second one was Ixtica, spider god of the Amazon, or something like that.
That
And
sounds like that sounds like more our speed.
yeah, and it was fun. I couldn't resist not, you know, auditioning for that one, even though I had just did Fools, and I remember how long all the rehearsals took. Plus, getting home around 9 o'clock and not getting to bed till 10, having to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning for work. I get up so early so I could try to hit the gym before work. So, because otherwise I won't have time in the afternoon to do it. So it's like juggling everything. And I went ahead and I was like, well, I have to do this one. And I got the lead in it. So that made me very happy. And I got to scream in this one, which was so funny the first time I belted it out.
Now, was this some of the same people that you had worked with before, or is this like a whole new cast and crew?
It's actually the same cast, and this ACT theater is ran on volunteers only. It's not very big. They're still fresh and new, trying to get out there. Um, so it's the same group of people that I had already worked with before. But Patricia Middleton, she's the director that does these plays for ACT, and she cracks me up because she goes, "Well, I know you're a scream queen, so I want to hear you scream."
Nice, nice.
I was like, "Okay, you guys need to stand back, cover your ears."
And were they impressed?
Oh yeah, they were beyond impressed because they didn't cover their ears like I told them to.
Oh, bad move,
Yeah.
bad move.
So yeah, and so I did that, and they were all like, "Whoa." So, and I got to do that several times throughout the play because I had to scream. I think it was twice,
Okay,
three times. I had to scream like two or three times. And the first time I see the spider when nobody else does, the first time I see the spider, I let out the loudest scream I can get, and I made these poor little boys just jump in the front seat. It was great because they weren't expecting that at all. These little
mhm.
kids.
Now, was there actual spider to play against, or were you? Did you?
We we had this lady in a costume. Um, we actually had a designer come in and help make the costume for her. She had the legs. She had the stilts for hands that she would. Let's see if I get this on the camera here. Shh, I can't find it. There it is. So like those long sticks that they had made, and they
Okay.
covered it in black, and then they had like a glove over her hand so she could grab onto it and walk around like it was her spider
Okay.
forearms, spider legs, four
Nice.
front paws.
Nice.
But she would walk around like that with her other legs behind her, and they were just kind of flopping in the air as she was walking. But she'd hunch over, and they would touch the ground. So it was really cool how the eyes they put LED green lights in her eyes. So when she came through the audience, when all the lights went down, she would freak out the audience. It was really cool.
How fun is that?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Now, were you able to? I've never even thought about this, but were you able to videotape your performance?
Oh, we can um on certain ones, like the Neil Simon, we weren't allowed to.
Yeah.
The I think it's Pat Cook. Pat Cook did the Polar Express. That was one we did in Christmas. And I can't remember the person who wrote Death by Chocolate. I don't remember that name off the top of my head. But those we couldn't videotape. We did record them so we could watch them at the cast party, but we can't have like copies or anything like that because it's against copyright to have
I
them
guess.
floating around.
Hmm. That's too bad. You know, you thought you think that
Oh.
Yeah, you think that you'd be able to keep that for yourself, not necessarily make money off of it, but at least you
Yeah,
keep it for
yeah,
yourself. Um, so here you are, you're doing it. You cut loose with your scream. Do everybody's duly impressed, scared. Um, so you obviously that was that a comedy?
yeah,
Were both of these comedies that
yeah.
you did?
Every single play that I've done with them so far has all been a comedy show. And it's been wonderful making people laugh. I absolutely love hearing the audience react.
It's sort of like a sort of like Monsters Inc., right? Have you ever seen Monsters Inc.?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So the first half they're trying to capture screams
Yeah.
to power power,
Right.
but they find out at the end that laughter is much more powerful. Um, so how did you like playing comedy? I mean, having people laugh and enjoy your performance versus versus a horror movie where people are like watching you go through blood and guts. I mean, what how did you are you going to become a comedian now and just forget the horror films? Are you going to go off on a blazing new path, or?
No, probably not. I it's not definitely not off the menu. I would love to dabble in more comedy. But I'll
Mhm.
probably just do both. I love acting, so it's to me it's whatever is out there that I can do. I'm gonna go for it, whether it's horror or comedy or both. Everybody loves both nowadays, so
Yeah, it does seem to be like that, doesn't it?
yeah,
I mean,
dark comedy.
horror comedy seems to be more. It seems to be a lot more prevalent than it used to
Yeah,
be. Um, I'm not sure how much I'm not a really big fan of horror comedy. I mean, I like comedy, I like horror, but I'm
yeah.
not really sure if I like both together. I sort of like I like to laugh and I like to be holy crow, you know. Um, uh, but I like the idea that you did it, that you took a chance. I mean, you must have been really nervous when you first walked out there to
Always.
you had to audition, so I'm sure you were nervous.
Oh yeah, yeah. That never
It's
goes
funny.
away.
You had 20 feature films underneath your you have 20 movies underneath your belt, and yet you still walk up there and you still are nervous as if it was your first movie.
Oh yeah.
That has to work for you.
Yeah.
That has to make you a better actress.
I like to think so. I like to think it gives you personality and how you're going
Yeah.
to react to something.
Now did you get the audition in person for this?
Yeah, I did.
Nice. See,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know if the I know the self taping's still going on. I don't
it
know if it's
is.
ever gonna stop,
Yeah.
but a chance to actually go there in front of us, a real life human casting director and show off your pop, that's gotta be you know, that's gotta be cool.
It is
What
cool.
are what
It's cool, but it's also a lot more nerve wracking because not only are you in there in person, you're kind of worried about making an impression too, and which you know you don't have to try so hard. Just be yourself would be the biggest in person. Just be yourself is basically the best thing to do.
I'm sure everybody there, among your peers, the ones that are just starting out, I mean, it's just natural. I'm sure they were
Oh yeah,
intimidated at first, you
yeah. 'Cause
know.
you see everybody else that's there trying out too, so you're just like, "Whew, I
Yeah.
hope I can do this."
Well, once you did it though, and then all of a sudden it's just like, okay, yeah, this is something I can do, something I want to do. So
Yeah,
you got the first two, and then you said you did the Polar Express.
mm, yeah.
Now that one's got to be that must have been the hardest one of all, right?
Actually, no, it was pretty easy.
What role did you play?
Penelope Blaisdell played a reporter
Oh, okay.
for
How
the
fun is
Gazette.
that?
That was fun. And when I first started, it was kind of confusing at first because when I first started, she said she kind of wanted like a Southern accent. So I first tried to do that. I put it out there, and then she goes, "How about maybe just tone it down a little bit, not quite so gone with the wind." And I
Not
was like,
quite
"Well,
good.
I don't know
Not.
how to do it."
Oh my God. Frankly, Red, I don't give a damn. Um,
Thank you, my darling. I don't give a damn.
uh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the Polar Express. Did you ever saw? Have you ever read the book or watched the movie?
It there's two types of Polar Expresses from what I am understanding. The I saw the movie that I saw with my kids was, I think, I don't even know how to explain that because it's been too long since I've watched it. But
Uh, It's not the one on the train. Then it's not the Tom Hanks one.
no, it's not.
Okay. Okay. So tell us about the other Polar Express. Then what was the big plot?
The big plot was actually a gal who had lost her father some years ago, and in doing so, she lost her spirit for Christmas, and because he died, or I think he died on Christmas, somewhere in that area.
Okay.
Sorry, my apologies. Um, but the gist of it is that she just lost a Christmas spirit. She just didn't want to celebrate it no more because it reminded her too much of her dad. And then here comes this mysterious guy. Now see if I can remember his name.
Better not be Santa Claus.
No, but somebody actually who there's another mysterious person who comes into town, and it's kind of funny if you can find part of the story to read it, you might be able to figure out what I'm trying to say because I am so terrible explaining things. Especially when I can't remember the names off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But
Now that was that one done at the ACT as well.
yes, uh-huh. But
Wow.
needless
So
to say, the main mysterious guy comes in who saves the day. He's always on the go. I'm trying to get information from him because miracles are happening, and she's like, "You weren't here, and I happened to see you over there. So can you explain this?" And of course, he tries to avoid her at all costs.
uh
His mission is to bring spirit not only back to the town, but also to um, mm, the lady who lost her Christmas spirit.
so that's gotta be a lot of fun. Now
Yeah.
you're doing something for your kids to watch. Did your
Yeah.
children go out there? Did your children come watching?
Yes, they did. They came out and watched. They've seen all of them so far, so that was kind of cool. It makes me feel better that they're watching something like that versus going to, because they went with me to the Clownado premiere. So that
Okay.
one was kind of rough watching
Oh,
that with my kids.
how old were your kids at that time?
Uh, Amanda was in her 20s, and CJ was trying to say he was probably about 17, I think.
Now, were they more? But I bet you they were more. I bet you they were. I bet they commented more on the blood and guts than the other.
Oh, pretty much. I mean, to them, they're used to me doing horror movies and stuff, so nothing was really phasing them too much. Plus,
Right.
the fact CJ was in it, he was more interested in his death scene rather than watching mom. So
Watch me die. Watch me die.
he's one of the victims in the restaurant scene and
Right.
or diner scene. He gets killed by Kate Phoenix, who played the female clown.
Right. Right. That was actually a very fun movie.
Hmm.
I thought it was. I actually I really enjoyed that. I thought it was really fun from top to bottom, and everybody's sitting there. Well, you're gonna be able to handle that because me and Bonehill. And
Yeah.
now here's something that will shock you, and you'll probably go like, really? But I'll just tell you anyway. So last time you and I talked about Bonehill Road, and I was like, yeah, that was a little bit out of my range, because it was so gory and
Yeah.
whatnot. But you know what movie I did watch? I made it all the way through and I really liked it, though I really wouldn't be in a rush to watch it again. But I did watch it.
What's that?
Martyrs.
Oh, really?
I knew it. I knew that was coming. I knew exactly that tone was coming my way when I said that.
That's a tough one.
Wait a minute. Wait a
I'm
minute.
surprised you made it through it.
Yeah. Wait a
I
minute. Wait, you
I
couldn't
barely made it
handle
through.
werewolves, and you couldn't handle Linnea getting killed, but you watched Martyrs.
That's brutal. That is such a brutal movie. Whew.
It is.
Thumbs up to the gal who played that part, though. Like, oof.
Would you like to have done a part like that?
I don't know if I could. I'll be honest. I don't know.
Yeah. Isn't that
Sometimes I
something?
surprise myself with some of the stuff I do have done, but I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sitting there watching that movie, and I'm just like, I was just so blown away by that, and actually, when I was looking, I was getting ready for the night. I said, "Yeah, how am I going to tell her that I waffled out on Bone Hill Road, but I looked at Martyrs all the way through without blinking." Yeah, I knew I was going to catch it though, so I deserve it. Uh, your dog is so cute. What's your dog's name again?
This is Silver.
Silver.
Yeah, he's 12 years old.
Yeah,
He's a
so's
little
Paladin. Paladin's 12 years old as well.
man.
Uh,
Aw.
um, yeah, but they're still sprightly. Does he still run around?
Oh
Does Silver
yeah.
still run around? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Whenever I come in here to do stuff, this is actually I'm in my daughter's room right now because we turning it into my room for stuff like interviews and auditions and stuff. So, but whenever I come in here to start doing stuff, he has to be the attention and jump up on me.
hmm Yeah. If it was warmer, I mean, once it gets spring in the summer, yeah, he'll be doing that as well. Wintertime, he's looking for the blanket. He gets underneath the blanket, or he goes by the heat vent, and that's where he's
Yeah.
at.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's definitely not a big fan of the winter, but
Yeah, it's interesting. I think I like the idea that there are certain roles that will stop. I've asked that question before. It's like, was there any roles that you wouldn't do? But I think that you're probably one of the top 5 actresses that I've talked to that has done really extreme horror,
yeah.
like Hill Road. So when you find out that yes, there is a limitations for what you do, it's interesting to me. Oh, no problem, John. Nope. Just hang out for as long as you can. I appreciate you. Um, okay, so now you said you got four. You said you have four. Now the Death by Chocolate. That's the one I want to talk about because that was really different. You
Yeah.
were you did that for a church.
Well, all of them have been inside a church.
Oh, okay.
They ACT rents out a stage for them from them. They have a stage back behind in a different room area of the church. So they actually rent that out.
So
That's what.
the church doesn't have anything to do with it then.
No, it doesn't. Mm-mm. Nope.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would love to see what the pastor was thinking. When you do I got a real life screen queen in my church. That's awesome.
Oh goodness, yeah, I don't know.
Wow, mum's the word here. So let's talk a little bit about Death by Chocolate. Now, was that is that and how and that's another comedy, right? Or is it a mystery?
No, it was definitely another comedy. It was a mystery comedy. Um, let's see here, Detective Nick Noir. Nick Noir. It was supposed to
Yeah,
be like a noir style type. And,
right.
and it was like, yeah, it was a pun on noir style stuff. But Nick, he's got this old fashioned idea of wanting to be like Humphrey Bogart, and that's his idol or whatever. That's at least that's his personality trait. He's really into that old timey type. But the story actually takes place in today's, 19, I think it was wrote in 1990, something like that, 1998. It was where they had iPhones, I guess. But let's see, I'm trying to remember. I should remember my character name. Um, I played a wannabe country singer, so I had to get out of my element yet again. Because the first time I got out of my element was for um, the Polar Express. I had to sing, and I know I'm not a singer, so we had this lady come in to try to help us catch these notes and stuff, and try to help us to sound better.
Did
I
it
think
work?
we sounded okay by
Did
the
you
end of
like
the
it?
day, but huh?
Did you like to? Did you find yourself liking to sing? Did you enjoy it, or did you just something to get bored?
Not really, because I think I'm too shy in that aspect. Because I just don't think I have a really that good. I don't think I have a singing voice. That's my opinion. So I don't want to subject people to it. So when I'm trying to do my best to get those notes out, the way she showed us. Uh, I did okay. I've had a couple of people told me I sounded pretty good, but
Okay.
when you don't do it on a regular basis, you're like, it's more like a car sound when you're singing along the radio.
Right. Right. Right.
Death by Chocolate. Bobby Sue Cash was my character name. Bobby Sue, she wants to be a country singer. Sorry, my
Okay.
dog's moving my camera. And
He's stealing scene. Silver stealing scene.
yeah, well, he's up on my desk for some reason because he's a goofball. Hey, baby. But so I had this, and in fact, my scene starts out with me belting out this crazy song, and I had to ham it up because, well, she thinks she sings good.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I was able to sing terribly on purpose.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah, it was
That moves the
fun.
plot. It moves the plot along.
I have to admit that was pretty fun. And in fact, opening night, after all the rehearsals of getting all my lines straight, on opening night, I actually messed up a couple of the verses on my song. But I realized it's okay because I can just ad lib this song and really ham it up, and the audience won't even know the difference. So
Right.
luckily, it worked out really good. I just went crazy with at the end.
Oh,
But the rest of
yeah.
the time, I remembered all the lines. You just get excited those first nights. You always have the jitters first opening nights, and you're like, I said that too fast, and that's what happened. I said the next line before I was supposed to say the other line, and I knew I got it mixed around.
Did you have jitters for all your plays or just the first one?
I always have jitters especially on opening nights, because you're worried about something going wrong, because something's always going to go wrong. It will. That's
Yeah.
just a tradition on any project.
Now, did any of your former co-stars come out to watch you work? Did any of your former actors or crew or Todd come out and check you out?
No, I did have a couple friends like Lyle. He came out and watched me. He came all the way from Kansas City to watch me, so that was pretty cool.
Right.
He's the one that makes a lot of the chainmail that you might see in some of the pictures that I do.
Mm. Are you still modeling as we speak? Are you still modeling?
Oh yeah, I'm still off and on. I'm model doing stuff. I haven't had a lot of time the last couple of years doing stuff because I've been busy with my new job. But yeah, oh yeah, I still plan on doing some of that.
Okay. What's your new job? Is it show business related?
I wish. No, but it pays the bills. I work at I want to call it a postal repair center because it's pretty much what it is. We fix post office computers and equipments and stuff
Okay.
like that. I do
Well,
a
yeah.
lot of I test boards. That's what all my job is, because I don't have like a degree in like actually fixing things. That's what my husband does, because he can solder, put on new chips and all that fancy tech stuff. But what I do is basically I just run boards. I test to make sure all the stuff is like the lights light up, the words come on. If it don't, I'll replace broken pieces. Clean them
Okay.
up, get them all nice and pretty.
Yeah.
That's all I
Get them
pretty
back
much
up,
do.
get them back and running. Believe me, that's a really good job because our taxpayers' money are paying for that, and instead of just throwing it out and getting
Yeah,
brand new ones for thousands of dollars.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Uh, uh, so now I was going to ask you about the two movies that we didn't get to talk about too much, High Fear and The Final Caller.
Yeah.
Um, so talk to us about that, a little bit about that, or how are those two movies for you? Did you enjoy working on them?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love working on anything with Todd, and those were both his. See, the High Fear is a collaboration with other directors like Brad Sykes, Tony Goggles. I can't remember the other person's name. Sorry, whoever's
Uh,
name. But there was like,
I can bring it up here.
yeah,
Let's see, we have Anthony,
yeah,
uh, Anthony Cantonese,
yeah.
Tim Ritter, and Todd.
Okay. That yeah, those I think one of them has like two different names, but I don't remember. But yeah, we worked on that one, and that one was crazy fun. I played another demon again in that one. Um, and it's right now it's touring in the film festivals, and it's doing pretty good. We've got a lot of good feedback so far from it.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
Brene, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Our friend Slasher Fred mentions one of the classic horror movies I've seen. It's 1948 film, Sorry, Wrong Number. That seems to be the inspiration for the harassing phone call uh, plot lines in many horror movies.
Hmm.
Yeah, that is one of the ones. That is interesting story plot. A plot. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about uh, what was the one with the babysitter, um, where the phone is being rang inside the house itself.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
urban legends type stuff.
Right, they did it with Carol Kane and yeah, that was jeez, God, I totally forgot. I don't know what it is. I know what it is. I think it's what was it, Final Call or something? No, not Final Call. Was The Call Within or something that? And
Mhm.
the guy is calling from inside the house and he kills
Yeah.
the kid. Yeah, but that I remember that movie, even though I can't remember the name right off the bat. Um, yeah, that's an intense type of plot line. Like
Yeah.
because that if it comes within, I mean the amount of fear you have to generate. So, do you like working on anthology films? I mean, is that your first one that you've done where you're just part of a bigger movie? You're playing in a story and then it's basically a short film within a feature film. Was that your first one that you've ever done?
The first one I done was Sleepless Nights. Uh, and I actually did the Crawler with Amanda Payton. She wrote and directed that one. And then I did another one for Sleepless Nights also, which was written by Antoine Steele. It was It Hits the Fan. That's the title of those two segments that are in Sleepless Nights. Uh, that was my first one. That was a lot of fun. That was my first time doing any kind of filming, and that's the first time I ever met. That's where I first met Todd and Amanda.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then we did High Death was the second uh, anthology that I did, and that one I was in the Muse for that one. Hey, Cheetah.
There's the cheetah.
And then High Fear is the latest one.
Yeah, it seems to be now I noticed that's been it seems like after that one movie was made, it just seemed to be quiet. Did has the was that because you took a break from filming, or was it because all of a sudden there just wasn't any projects going on at the time that you
No.
were interested in?
Well, after we did High Fear, that's actually been a while since we finished up that one. Well, we did our segment. After that, we went on to Final Caller. We did that one, I believe, in 2020, right when the pandemic had hit. We actually got it finished towards in the middle of all that stuff going down. And then after that, we did the special project for Amazon Prime, and that's the one. That's why we're so quiet right now. It's because we can't talk about it yet.
Right, right.
But all
Uh,
I can tell you is that it's what's going to be an Amazon Prime original series. I just can't tell you any more about it other than
that's
that.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. As long as you got a part in it, that's
Yeah.
all we can.
Yeah, I have a major part in it, and we're just waiting for details to come out. But yeah, that's one of the reasons it's been so quiet since the final callers, because we can't talk about it yet.
Now, will you go back and continue to do plays? I mean, is that what you're going to try to do while you stay busy, or are you going to try to find a? I know you mentioned or you're going to be auditioning and you have a part in August, but between now and then, are you going to do that? Maybe go to some conventions or what have you? How
um,
are you going to stay busy?
right now, I'm just going to concentrate on getting auditions and practice, because even if I don't get the parts, I need to at least get better at auditioning, because there's always new techniques to learn for that, which I definitely need to learn doing those better. Because I've been so spoiled with Todd, like he's just always got the part for me, so I
Right.
don't do a whole lot of auditioning, which I need to do. Um,
Right.
so that's what I'm going to be concentrating on is just getting as many auditions as I can get out. That way I can get better at them and not be so nervous doing them. Especially since I'm going to be recording them here at home because a lot of them are out of state. Uh, but I can tell you the next film that I'm doing is called, like I said, it was a shark movie, and it's called Conjuring the Shark by Brad Thomason. I'm going to go work with him again.
Okay. Where are you guys gonna film at?
I believe it's in Virginia. I could be wrong, but I think that's where it's going to be filmed at.
You like doing creature features?
Oh, I do. Yes. Yeah.
Creature features are a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like watching them too. That's one of my favorites to watch with horror movies is like I love like Critters and Ghoulies. I love Ghoulies, especially number two. Uh, what else is there? Like, and of course, Velocipaster. Have you seen that one?
Oh yeah, that's an awesome movie. Yeah, I love that one. I love that one, and I love the other one they put out. Carousel.
Yeah, Cares Hell. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Carousel is it's just yeah. I think Eileen and Steve are just those two guys are amazing. I mean, what a crazy concept for both those movies.
Right?
Um,
Yeah.
what movies and movie actors have you seen that have really impressed you lately? If you could have a chance to do a scene with if you could do a scene with three people working today, who would you like to share a scene with?
Oh gosh. Uh, Henry Cavill. Sorry, I love Superman, so he came to mind. Uh, let's see here. Who else? Gosh, there's so many people I love. I can't even.
Have you seen any horror movies that have you seen any horror movies that like what did you think of X and Pearl?
Wow, that was pretty intense. My husband and I both watched that one, and we were both kind of left speechless. Like, we didn't know what to think of that one. That's not really kind of our style of movie to watch.
That just was it too slow, too weird, or
It was too weird. But I have to
yeah,
admit, that was I mean, I know people, they still like to be intimate with each other. I think it was that scene that got us with the old couple.
oh right, yes. I just I thought I was okay.
Hmm.
I didn't think it was like I didn't think it was like, oh my gosh, the best thing since sliced bread. You know,
Yeah.
I thought it was solid. It was, solidly acted,
Oh
and
yeah, very much so.
I was more impressed with the fact that everybody was talking about Jenna Ortega in that movie, but the one that really impressed me was Brittany Snow because she played totally against type. I mean she was like, she played the porn actress, and she always plays a pretty much a goody two shoes, and she went totally against type, nudity, drinking, smoking, just not anything that you think of when you think of Brittany Snow, and
Right.
and it was just I thought she did a really nice job,
I
and
thought I thought they all did good. And the gosh, that one role, I think she played both roles, the Pearl
yeah,
and
Mia
the
Goth,
lady.
yeah, I
I mean,
think
she
that
turned it on and turned it off and turned it on, and she was like right on the dot with that.
how hard is it to do that? Have you ever felt that you've done a performance like that where you've been turned it on and turned it off just right where you needed to be, or is it have you ever had a movie where that's happened for you?
I don't think I've been quite challenged on that yet. I think the closest I came to that was in Death by Chocolate, because after intermission, I come back dressed as an old lady undercover, trying to get information that I need to uncover the mystery, trying to find my sister, the real sister, I should say, because one of them is pretending to be me, the Bobby Sue Cash, which her real name I believe is oh, Coco. Her real name is Coco, but the girl who's playing Coco Purvis in the play is actually the killer. Spoilers!
Oh no, man.
Spoilers!
I was just gonna ask you, were other than the I was gonna say, wouldn't it be funny to have all the characters named after different types of chocolate? But I guess that would
We
just be
thought that
that'd be
too. Yeah.
yeah. Now has this inspired you to maybe pick up a pen and try to write a play, or or at least something like that?
Not necessarily a play, but I have attempted to write short stories and stuff. And I always attempt that, but I never finish them, and I need to one of these days. I'll have
Yeah.
like
I mean,
2 or 3 pages wrote, and then I get stuck on a different project, and then I get busy. I started writing one, was it last winter, not this last winter, but the winter before I started my new job. Because I started working at my new job in last May. So I started writing something that December, and then I ended up having some surgeries and was down for a little bit. And then I was getting ready for this new job. So I was like, I never got around to finishing it, even though I really wanted to. I need to though.
do you still
One of
have
these
it?
days. Huh?
Do you still have it?
Oh yeah, I still have it.
Oh,
I
I was
just
gonna say, you can just pick
yeah.
it up anytime. Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you had a writer's box. Do you have a box where you put your writings into, and then when you have a few minutes, you take them out and work on them?
No, not really. Unfortunately, when I do write on the pad, I end up misplacing it, not finding it, and I go on something else. But this last one I wrote, I've been writing. I actually have it in my laptop saved this time, so I know
Uh,
where to go back and find it.
so where do you want to where do you want to do, and as far as as far as auditioning for, what types of movies are you gonna be trying for? Are you gonna be trying for anything that moves, or something that will challenge you? Like, if you had a
Um,
chance to do a horror film versus say a drama, we already know you could do horror and do it really well. Will you try to do a drama? Will you try to
Oh,
do a mystery, or a family film if possible?
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna see what's out there to audition for, and I'm gonna give it a try for any of it. Um, I think there's another horror movie coming up now that I'm getting ready to audition for, and then but I just got to go out there and start looking it up and see what's out there.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it seems like middle America right now. I mean, Ohio's just white hot right now. Just that so much talent going on right there.
I know
And
Actors Access, they have a lot going on in there, so I just got to pick one and try to go for it.
now, do you have is does your husband act as your manager as well?
No, he's more like Jiminy Cricket as my conscience. Hey, remember, you don't want to do just anything.
Right. Oh, right,
Like, he
right.
keeps
Yeah.
me sane. He keeps my head level, and he reminds me, you don't have to say yes to every role. If you don't like it, you can walk away. So he helps me, he supports me, saying you can still do it. You do what you want, you do what makes you happy, but just remember that you don't have to take a role if you think it's going to um
Take you backwards.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Uh, uh, so are you gonna be doing any conventions this year? Are you gonna be going out and as a guest at any conventions uh, around Kansas City?
Actually, in Topeka in August, I'll be a guest at Splash and Bash, the Slash and Bash Film Festival that we do every year.
Now, would that be your first time doing that?
No, this will be. I've been going to that one for a few years now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. How do you like doing conventions, Dylan?
I love it. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Uh, I like because you get to meet other actors and other people and other directors and producers and everybody who comes out. You get to mingle with people. It's fun.
Yeah, networking's never been more important as it is now, has it?
Oh yeah, yeah. In fact, it's probably easier to network that way.
Right. Right. Um, well, I tell you what, I see we're hitting up our time. and my light is flickering. All right. We are getting, like I said, we're getting pounded with snow, and we have thunder snow that hit us earlier as well too. Uh, I want to thank you for coming out and hanging out with us, especially on such short notice.
Yeah,
I appreciate you very
pleasure.
much for coming out and doing this with us. Always a delight to talk to you. I was really excited to get this to have this happen for tonight. Um, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's always been a real pleasure. You're one of the nicest people I've ever talked to.
Thank
Um,
you.
I wish every interview was like this. Uh,
Oh,
you know, so hopefully, when things go, when things land for Amazon or after Conjuring the Shark,
yeah.
we will come back and talk to you and catch up with you and see what you've been up to.
In fact, Conjuring of the Shark is there's a group page for that. If anyone is interested, look it up on Facebook and join it, and you can watch all the updates that he's got coming up. Because I think he's going to be doing a small crowdfunder for that. I just don't know when yet. Uh, since we're going to be filming in August, so it might be maybe summertime. I don't know. But if you join
Okay.
the group, you keep up with us on
Yeah,
that one.
I will get that from you, and I'll also put it in the description box down below.
Cool.
Walter Gill says, "Hi, Daylin. I finally get to hear your voice and see you on camera.
Hello. How are you doing?
That's awesome. Is this a peer, a fellow actor, or a fan?" Well, thank you for coming out, Walter. All right, boys and girls, that wraps up this show. Before we go, I will go ahead and announce the next week's show, and I got it right this time. Thank God for that. Um, so, uh, uh, so it's because we're celebrating All Women in Horror Month this month, so we are so happy to we're talking to any and all ladies who've done horror films, thrillers, what have you, and we got some really talented people coming up. And starting off with the 6th of March, we have Emily Whitcomb will be here with us at 8 o'clock. On the 6th, on the 7th, we have actress Becky Rue from Louisiana. She did Clay Zombies, and she will be here with us on the 7th. On the 8th, we have actress Audrey Neal be with us. She's doing the sequel to Slimeball Bolorama.
Oh,
Um,
very cool.
that's being directed by Brink Stevens. She is going to be starring in that. I know I got this mixed up. I got this because they're doing two remakes or sequels to two classic movies.
That's
Um,
awesome.
on the 9th of March at 8 p.m., we have actress Carol Lynn Fortin will be with us. And then next Friday, a week from today, we will have the lovely actress August Kiss will be with us. And she is doing I don't know if it's a remake or a sequel, the Killbots. That was directed by David Couture. And now the new one is being directed by Jim Warnowski. Jim Warnowski,
Oh, wow.
oh,
Very
no,
cool.
better please. And so we'll be talking to August next Friday at 8 p.m. So that's this week number 2, and we still got 3 weeks after that.
Nice. Very
Um,
cool.
very fun, very fun. All right, boys and girls, thank you guys in the chat for coming out. Stay right where you're at, Dylan. And let's see. Walter says he's doing great. Hopes to see you soon. That's awesome. Yep. Will you be doing any public appearances within the next month? Any public appearances that you're going to be doing?
Not in the next month, no.
Okay.
That I'm
Okay.
aware of.
Just keep track of Dylan on all her socials. We'll have that down in the description box and keep up with her that way. You can also keep up with her on her movie database page as well. And I also put down a link to our very first interview, which you can go back and watch that as well. All right. Everybody else, have a great night. We will see you. We'll see you Sunday night for Jack Frost 1 and 2.
Nice.
Yeah, we're doing that from the Midnight Society on 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock on Sunday. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Um,
that process is a
every-
lot of fun to watch.
I've never seen them, so this will be the first time watching
Oh,
them. So
okay.
I know it's not the Michael Keaton one. I already been told that. I said that's
Yeah.
the one Michael Keaton, right? No, it's not it. No, no. All right. Have a great night, everybody.